Hi friends, I'm Yamini and I welcome you back to my channel, The Saffron Box. Today in this video, I shall be talking about the planetary transits in the month of August 2020, and thereafter I shall be talking about the effect of all these transits on all the 12 signs, the ascendants. Right, so the first part of the video contains the general introduction, the dates, the festival dates, etc. And thereafter I begin with Aries going on till Pisces, and the effect of all the transits on all the 12 ascendants. So in the description box in this video, right below this video, and in the comment section as well, you shall find the timestamps pertaining to different signs, and in case you want to move on to your sign by clicking on the timestamp, you can do so. And subsequently I shall also be putting up a video, the same video in Hindi on my Hindi channel, and you shall find the link to my Hindi channel also in the description box as well as in the comment section. Right, so I hope that helps. It saves a great deal of time for all the subscribers, all the viewers, and I think respecting others' time is very important. Helps in building up the positive strengths, the positive qualities of Saturn as well. So that's the important tip, or rather, this is something which we all know. But time and again, I think if we remember it, if we recall certain good points, it really helps, right? So I shall begin with the planetary transits. The planetary transits for this entire month are going to be very interesting. First of all, why so? Because Sun is going to be moving in its own sign of Leo in the by the middle of the month in August, that is by 16th of August. Sun is going to be moving to its own sign of Leo, right? Then it will be joined by with Mercury from 17th of August. Prior to that, from the 2nd till 17th, Mercury is in the sign of Cancer, and on the 17th it moves on, conjoins the Sun in the sign of Leo, which also produces a Budh Aditya Yoga. So whenever you know that Surya and Budh, Sun and Mercury combine, they produce a Budh Aditya Yoga. Now this conjunction happens quite frequently, but yes, this is something which we cannot ignore, right? And thereafter, talking about the next planet, that is Venus. Venus is going to be in the sign of Gemini the entire month. It's going to be conjunct Rahu. It's not a very close conjunction, yes, but by the with the beginning of the month, you will see a little pronounced effect of the Venus Rahu conjunction, because they are going to be close in degrees, and thereafter the effect kind of fades away. Then we have Mars moving on to its own sign, that is Aries, on the 16th of August, right? So that is again a very important movement, and Sun has by the 16th, Sun would be moving to Leo. Mars is going to be in Aries by the middle of the month, again around the same dates. And we have Jupiter. Jupiter is going to be in the sign of Sagittarius only the whole month, though it's retrograde in motion. But you see the Dharma trine, if you go by the Kalpurush horoscope, by default horoscope, so to say in simple language, the first house, Aries, will have Mars in its own sign. Then the fifth house, Leo, is going to be having Sun, its Lord, in its own house. Then we have Jupiter in the ninth house in its own Rashi, that is Sagittarius or Dhanu. So this entire Dharma trine is going to be in order. It's going to be ship shape. And what does this mean? This means basically that we can look forward to some happier times. Sun is in good dignity, Mars is in good dignity, Jupiter in its own sign, and it's kind of away from Ketu. Ketu is very soon going to exit the sign of Sagittarius, and the conjunction will break. So it's kind of a happy state for Jupiter also to be in. And when Jupiter is in a good state, we can talk about optimism and happiness and healing all around. So this entire Dharma trine brings in a lot of healing, a lot of positivity and happier times, especially, you know, if you see the past few months which have gone by. I feel this month is going to be bringing in a lot of happiness and positivity, especially the second half of the month, right? Then I think Saturn is left. Saturn is going to be in its own sign of Capricorn. Saturn is also seen in a very good and strong position. Saturn is retrograde in motion and in its own sign of Capricorn, right? Thereafter, as we all know, Rahu and Ketu. Rahu is going to be in its sign of Gemini only this whole month, and Ketu is going to be in Sagittarius this whole month. So the Rahu and Ketu transit is also going to be happening in the month of September, for which I'm going to be putting in a video very soon in the next coming few days, both in English as well as in Hindi, right? So that was about the transits which are going to be happening. Now, if we talk about the festivals, this month also is part of the Chaturmas which is going on. So the Chaturmas began with the month of Shravan with the worship of Lord Shiva, the ultimate Mahadev. And as soon as the Shravan Mass almost comes to a closure, we'll have Raksha Bandhan on the 3rd of August. Thereafter, we see Krishna Janmashtami. You know, Krishna Janmashtami somehow kicks in those happy feelings and positivity. So this is again a festival which a lot of us look forward to in India especially. So that is going to be on the 11th of August. Then we have Ganesh Chaturthi, wherein we worship Lord Ganesha, and Ganesha, as you know, is the Vignaharta, is the remover of all the obstacles which we have in life. So 22nd of August sees Ganesh Chaturthi as well. So a month which kicks in with Raksha Bandhan and goes on till Ganesh Chaturthi, and thereafter, as you know, the festivities will begin and finally go on till Deepavali, right? So very interesting times which we have ahead of us. The worship of Ganesha especially, I feel, is very important, because whenever we're talking about problems or obstacles, delays, destruction, you know, we are Ganesha is the deity whom we turn to. So worshipping Lord Ganesha is going to be a very, very important theme of this entire month. So I'll start with Aries. If you look at Aries, this entire month, I would say, is going to be a positive month, especially the second half, when Mars and Sun both come into their respective houses. So till now, Mars was in your 12th house, the house of expenditure, the house of loss. And now with Mars moving up to its own sign, your ascendant, there's going to be a reduction in your expenditure. The first impact is that is what you're going to be feeling. And thereafter, there'll be a focus on yourself, on what you want to do, what you want to prioritize as such. So there's going to be an infusion of energy. There is going to be a major shift in your energy levels as well, because Mars in a watery sign is not a very happy placement for it. And then when it moves, or when it comes to its own sign, that is when Mars gets a real boost. It's comfortable in its own house, in its own space, right? So try to focus on what you want, how you want to go about it. So while Mars in the ascendant is going to make you a little impulsive, make you have knee-jerk reactions in certain places, be very watchful on your communication. You have Venus and Rahu also in the 3rd house, so be very watchful on your communication. How are you reacting? And when we react, how do we react? We react with words, right? So your communication is of prime importance. You have to be watchful there, because words once spoken cannot be taken back, right? So how are you being interpreted? How are your words being perceived by others, especially your siblings and your spouse house as well is something which you have to be very, very watchful on. And this month is good for creative pursuits. So those of you who are in the creative field, who require a lot of creativity day in and day out, and your livelihood is dependent on creativity, I think that this is going to be a really positive month for you. So all your creative juices are going to be flowing in, and you shall have the wherewithal and the motivation, the go to do something creative, and focus on your work as such. So that is a very good major point. Lady Luck favors you. Jupiter is anyways far away from Ketu now, so there's going to be luck or divine blessings favoring you. Make use of this time, I suggest. And there's going to be a lot of push on your mental capability. So how are you performing on your studies, if that's applicable to you? How are you using your intelligence is something which would need a lot of focus. So Sun there in its own sign in the 5th house is going to be helping you out over there, right? This month you have to be a little more careful on the profession side, on your work front, because you might get a little impatient or a little dissatisfied. Those of you who are employed in some organization, or especially those of you who are in government jobs, so there could be some amount of dissatisfaction, discontentment, but I suggest that you wait it out rather than looking for a transfer or looking for a change of profile, making any major changes in your work. There could also be dissatisfaction related to your boss. But I suggest that you hold your guns, do not start making major movements, because as they say, a known devil is better than an unknown friend, unknown angel. So this month, stick to that, remember these words, and try to adjust with your existing environment rather than making changes and going towards the unknown. Wait it out for some more time, right? Then I move on to Taurus, the next sign. If you see for Taurus, your Lagnesh ascendant Lord Venus is in your 2nd house, along with Rahu. The 8th house has Jupiterian energy. Jupiter is not a very good planet for Taurus, and it's strong, sitting strong in its own house, that is your 8th house. The best part is that Sun is sitting in the 4th house with in its own sign of Leo. So there is going to be this entire movement is going to bring in some family issues or some financial issues to the forefront, right? So how are you going to be dealing with these issues is what is going to be taking up a lot of your time. Financial matters is something which I think you should trade with a lot of caution. Take a professional advice. Do not make any impulsive decisions regarding money, large amounts of money, especially if you have a joint business or if you are dealing with family money. So where everybody's resources are combined, where your spouse's resources are also there. Spouse's money is also concerned, right? So you have to be a little careful there. And this month could also make you focus a lot on eating. So while all these months we were all inside our houses, this month could actually make you lose patience and go out, go to a fancy restaurant. Maybe if you have something open, some restaurant, some eatery open around you in your city, in your place, so you just could feel that, yeah, I mean, enough is enough, let's go out, let me just order in something or go out. So you might take fancy to fancy food items, eating out, etc. But here a word of caution, be very careful about your eating habits. Don't go berserk, don't go overboard with what you're eating, what you're indulging in, because Rahu is also present there, remember. So Rahu is going to be pushing you towards eating more or eating unhealthy stuff or indulging too much. And with the combination of Venus, it could be a lot of sweets, So or sugary foods, foods which are just tasty and not very nutritious, right? So you're going to be having that temptation time and again. Try to stay away from this temptation for your own good health. Remember, Jupiter is in your 8th house, the house of diseases, the house of problems and obstacles, right? And this is also a great time for you to take up any new projects or any new assignments with a lot of vigor. Sun is aspecting your 10th house. So there's going to be a lot of vigor. There's going to be a lot of motivation also towards the workspace. So use this energy to put your things together, pull up your socks and move towards work, or at least start planning towards what you want to do in the future, right? Those of you who are in a phase of your home decoration, or doing something, rebuilding your house, or working towards your land or property, this month will also take you or take up a lot of your time and energy over there. So that is the month for you. Stay away from any kind of excessive spending also, right? So while you have good income this month, expenditures are also going to be on the rise, so be careful there. Then moving on to the sign of Gemini. If you see Gemini, see in the Lagna only we have Venus. Venus is a friendly planet for your Lagna, and same goes with Rahu as well. So Venus and Rahu get conjunct in your Lagna in the 1st house. This could actually make you focus a lot on what you want to do, how you're trying to look, how do people see you. So there's a lot of time spent on how you're looking, dressing up, coming out in the public, or how are you looking on social media also, so to say. So a lot of your time is going to be taken up in improving your appearance, or maybe changing your wardrobe, buying new clothes, spending a lot on all these things. So while you do that, it's good to work on yourself and indulge yourself, but do not get into any excessive spending. That is also something which I see happening for Gemini, right? Also this month is good for putting in new initiatives into work. We have Sun in its own sign in the 3rd house. Also in the same trine, you see the 3rd house is the Karma trine, and the 11th house is the highest of the Karma trine. The 11th house has Mars in its own sign, right? And then obviously the 7th house has Jupiter. So your Karma trine, Karma means desire. Karma is not only lust. Karma is desire for more, desire to achieve more, unending stuff. So it could be desire to eat, it could be desire to dress up, go out, look good, get appreciation, feel appreciation hungry, or attention hungry also sometimes. So all these things are going to be playing up, and there's a lot of activity for you this entire month. But this is a good time for you to start up with any initiative. All these energies can be used, all your charm, all your beauty, your attraction factors can actually be used to start off with something new. It could be related to social media, it could be related to communication with other people, and this month will actually help you achieve or get the results of what you're putting in, because Mars is also there, strong in the 11th house. So lovely month for Gemini. A word of caution: stay away from excessive spending, excessive expenditure, and things should work out well for you. Also sometimes you might feel a little emotional within the family, so there could be a display of a lot of emotions. It could be an over display. That is something which you have to guard against. This could happen in the first half of the month. So you try to throw tantrums, or there could be a lot of communication issues related to your emotions, old issues which you try to dig out and feel sentimental about. So stay away from all these, because this is just a temporary phase. Use this entire month for achieving what you want to achieve, and focus on your desires and fulfillment of desires as well, right? Moving on to the next sign of Cancer or Kark. See, for Cancer, Mercury is going to be in your ascendant for a few days, just about a fortnight, and thereafter it's going to be moving into the next house, that is Leo. And if you see Mars, the interesting thing about Cancer this entire month is Mars, which is your yoga karak, is going to be in the 10th house, sitting strong. This is a lovely month to achieve your professional goals, achieve your work goals. So be Karan Pradhan this month, and focus on your work. Try to focus on what you want to achieve. A lovely month to achieve name, fame, success, right? And there could be few things which you need to bother about, that is your interaction with other people. So sometimes you could get a little impatient, or you could get a little impulsive on how your reactions are. So while you react, think twice, thrice about how you're reacting. So that is something which you have to be careful about. Mars in the 10th house anyways, as I said, gives a lot of boost to your career, as well as your name, fame and success, etc. That of course depends on the natal position of Mars as well. Then if we see the Venus and Rahu are actually in your 12th house. So this could also be a thing which you have to be a little careful about. Be a little careful about how your liaisons are with people around you. So while you might be just going about normally dealing with people, it could be the opposite gender as well, but you may not be taken that way. So how are you being seen in the public? How are you being seen socially with respect to your relationships is something which you need to really work on, and be a little careful there as well. This goes especially for Cancer males, right? So careful about how you're interacting. You just might be going flamboyantly, talking to a lot of people, but you might seem a little too flirty. So that is, I think, enough said, and those who are intelligent can pick up clues. So we move on to the next sign, that is Leo. What a wonderful month for Leo. I would love to see such months for most of the signs, right? So Leo has its own Lagnesh, sun, the king of planets, moving to its ascendant, moving towards the first house by the middle of the month. That is a very, very important and a positive indication. Then the 5th house and the 9th house have their lords there itself. So the Dharma trine, the 159 axis, is quite activated, very much active, and this brings in a lot of fire in you. You feel like you want to take the initiative, you want to do new things, you want to focus on yourself, you want to focus on your children and your plans for the future. So this month Lady Luck favors you, and it will be a very, very good idea to propitiate your deity. Pray to whomsoever you feel a connect to. This month could actually bring you divine blessings, right? So do that. Also, your social circle is going to be very, very active, but be a little careful there in your social circle. Though you could find some tricky situations, there could be also a very important figure in your social circle, some important female figure who could play a very important role in your social circle. So that depends on actually your dasha, how your chart is actually, but there is going to be some important role. So it could be a positive role, it could be a negative role. Now that is something which you have to be careful about and guard against as well. Also a good time to work towards your children's studies. You could spend a lot of your time with your children, pay a lot of focus on their studies, how are they going about, and you could actually make a good connection with your children this entire month. So those of you who have children in the about to go college state, etc., this is a lovely time. Those of you who are students who are trying to maybe travel abroad or apply to foreign universities, go in for higher education, whether it's an online course or subsequently you want to go there physically, I think this is a good time for you to plan it out, because stars are in your favor. So make use of this energy as such. Make use of your guru's blessings or God's blessings, whatever divine power you have faith in, right? Then we move on to the next sign, that is Virgo. See, for Virgo, your Lagnesh is making two quick movements. It moves to Cancer, and then moves from Cancer to Leo, and joins the Sun in your 12th house. So this could actually be a time to look within, be a time to introspect. The first half of the month could actually be a very busy month socially, or make you do a lot of interactions, make you interact a lot with other people. But the second half of the month could actually give you a lot of time to focus on what you want to do, how you want to go about things. Step back from the noise, step back from the crowd, and see how you want to go about things. So that's very important. Those in the healing or the medicine profession, I think this is going to be a wonderful month for you. You are infused with new energy. A lot of energy and motivation is what brings you to work again, considering the times which we are in. You should also be very careful about your own health though. So those of you who have some important planets in the 6th or 12th axis, I think, or your Lagnesh is afflicted somewhere in your natal chart, I think this is a time to be very watchful, be very careful with respect to your health. Mars in its own sign of Aries in your 8th house could also cause certain health issues. I'm not trying to scare you though, but there could be cuts, there could be burns. So while you're working with working near the fireplaces, you're being near any electricity point, I think this is very important that you take care and take proper safety measures. So keep yourself safe this entire month. That is very, very important for you. And when it comes to other placements, we have Venus and Rahu in the 10th house. Work wise, there's going to be a lot of activity. Work wise, there's going to be a lot of movement. If you're in a creative field, a lot of creative juices flowing, a lot of creative work happening, and certain opportunities which are not very clear to you, which are not very visible right now, could become visible, could become known to you. You could avail those opportunities in the times to come. So be watchful over there. Do not make hasty decisions. That is very important with regard to your workspace. And at home also there could be a lot of work happening. Those of you who are looking at expanding their immovable property, buying new properties, or buying a bigger car or something, I think this month is going to make you do plans or maybe take action on that front. So we move on to the next sign of Libra. For Libra, if you see, the ascendant Lord Venus is in the 9th house, Gemini, conjunct with Rahu this entire month. So good placement for the Lagnesh, good placement for Venus as such. You focus a lot on your future plans, but you could feel a lot of confusion as well. So that also depends on your natal Rahu. Where is your natal Rahu? Where is your natal Venus? Right now, if I see the transit alone, there could be some haziness or some smog over what your future is. So you feel a little confused, and you can't help but to think about the future, but there's confusion as well. So all these things are going to be playing out this entire month. This month is good for your gains as such. We have Sun in its own sign along with Mercury, a very favorable placement for you. So your gains also come in. There could be some government favors which come in. There could be help from your elder sibling, which could make things easy for you. So while gains are happening, but the future remains a little hazy. So this is a time to be a little patient, especially regarding your profession, with Saturn sitting in the 4th house, aspecting your 7th house directly, your house of karma, your house of profession as such. So this is going to be a time which makes you dilly-dally a little, right? So your gains are there, but confusion and delays are also going to be happening this entire month. So I think this is also a time where you need to work on your communication. So sometimes you just might snap at other people. So Mars, in the 7th house in its own sign, is going to make you do that. So it's going to bring you into a lot of impulsive reactions with other people, especially your spouse. So you have to be a little careful there. They could be, Mars over here could produce a lot of heat with other people. So either you get into some fights, get into some conflicts, or you kind of snap out with other people. So you have to be careful handling this energy over there. And also, if you see, your 10th house has Mercury. So there could be some foreign connections, there could be some outside connections happening, especially if it's applicable for you. If you have any business which deals with foreign elements, with foreign connections, the first half of the month could actually bring in some deals or bring you into some connections with others, with foreigners as such, or with some foreign elements as such, right? So this is a mixed month for you, efforts, gains, but confusion, right? Then we move on to the sign of Scorpio. For Scorpio, if you see, the Lagnesh is in the 6th house in its own sign, that is Aries. This is going to be happening in the second half of the month. So what happens here with this kind of energy? With your 10th house also coming into limelight, with Sun and Mercury present there. Sun is going to be moving into your 10th by the second half. So the second half of the month is going to be giving you a lot of action with respect to your work, your daily routine. There could be a lot of focus on your fitness, on your health. And this is not while the Lagnesh moves into your 6th house, it's a house of, it's a dostana, it's a trikbhava. So it could be a difficult placement, but not for Scorpio as such, because it's the Lagnesh itself. So Lagnesh moving into the 6th could actually make you deal with a lot of daily issues, your health, how is your fitness regime, what are you doing to improve your health every day, how are you dealing with your subordinates every day. All this is going to come into the foray, all this is going to come into the picture this entire month. And this is also a good time if you are entering into any kind of a competition. So if you're a student moving into any kind of a competitive exams, moving through that, I think this is going to be a good time. Luck is going to favor you. Jupiter is also in your 2nd house. The conjunction between Jupiter and Ketu is breaking away gradually. So money wise also things are going to be improving slowly. So a good month. Make use of what you have, how the planetary positions are this month for your work and for your financial gain as well. So a lot of success at work is also indicated, provided the 10th house in your natal chart is also promising so. Then we move on to the next sign of Sagittarius, as is the thing with all the fire signs 1, 5 and 9, Aries, Leo and Sagittarius. Sagittarius is not far behind, and I would say that this is a great month for you after a long time. So you have Jupiter slowly breaking away from Ketu. So Jupiter, though it's retrograde, so you have to be a little careful about your health, but Jupiter is in its own sign in your ascendant. Then you have your fifth lord, that is Mars, coming into the own sign in the second half of the month. You have Sun coming into the ninth house, its own sign, right, by the middle of the month. So this entire Dharma trine again works well with you. You work well with your father. Your father supports you. Your efforts work out for you. So this is a lovely month, and connect with the divine, seek his blessings. Whosoever is your deity, whomsoever you feel a connect with, I think you need to pray to that deity, seek divine blessings from the universe, and move on with your future plans. So your focus is going to be what you're going to be doing in the future. A lot of it will go there. You will find the necessary logic, the necessary intelligence, the bent of mind to work towards your future plans as well. So you will put in that motivation, and by divine blessings, a lot of your motivation, your strength is going to go up, right? So this is a lovely month for you. New relationships could also come into the foray. Those of you who are looking at marriage, you are in that matchmaking phase, I think this is a lovely time for you, but be a little cautious about who all you're meeting, right? This could also be a time for converting, or moving on your relationship into a state of marriage. So if you're looking at fixing your marriage or dealing with marriage issues, I think there's going to be a lot of action over there, especially for Sagittarian males, right? So while you're there, keep your interaction with others within strict boundaries. So they could be, maintain healthy limits of your interactions with other people. That is very, very necessary, especially with Venus and Rahu both conjunct throughout the month in your 7th house. So with your spouse also, I think this is going to be giving a good boost to your relationship with your spouse also. So make use of this month and do well, do keep care of your health first of all. Then we move on to the next sign of Capricorn. For Capricorn, if you see, the focus is going to be health. Sun moving into your 8th house. I would say this is a time to focus on your health. Sun was anyways in your 7th house, the Marka Bhav, and then now it moves on to the 8th house. So a lot of your health issues might come up. You might work on your health issues, seek necessary medical advice. That is also going to be happening. You have your Venus and Rahu conjunct in the 6th house. So there could be issues with hormones or endocrine system, endocrine disorders, diabetes, obesity, all these issues. If you have these underlying issues, they could cause trouble. Or if you have some issues which are already going on, I think this is a time to get a good medical checkup, consult your your doctor, your medical professional with all your tests, get yourself checked again. So good time for medical assessment. If you are doing any kind of a revamping or reconstruction of your house, lovely time to do that. If you're looking at acquiring any land or property, I would not say so for vehicles as such, but this is a good month to acquire any land or property, or add on to building something. So as I said, you want to revamp something, you want to remodel your house, renovate something, a lovely time to do it. You have all the wherewithal, you have the energy to do so and carry on with your work. So good luck with that. You could actually with Venus being in your 6th house, there could actually be a lot of chances for out of court settlements. So you don't go in for a proper litigation. If you have a fight with somebody, if you are legally in a battle with somebody, if there's some issue there, it could be regarding finances also. So if you have any issue like that, there could be a very unconventional way which makes you clear that issue. So you may not go the traditional way. There could be some unconventional way where you talk it out with your opponents and go ahead with your concerns, go ahead with your fights. So look for those unconventional ways, look for those unconventional ideas, listen to the small voice in your head which will really help you out. right? So take care of your health, as I said, and a mixed month for Capricorn ascendant as such. Then we move on to Aquarius. For Aquarius, see, Sun is going to be coming into your 7th house. A good time for your relationship with your spouse, but there could also be ego issues which could crop up between your spouse and you. So keep your ego aside. Sometimes, you can keep ego and I am right kind of an attitude away from your relationships. So I think that is very important. This is also a good time for you going out, dealing with public, dealing with people, showing out showing out your talent, showing out your creative talent, right? So Venus and Rahu in your 5th house are going to bring out all that hidden talent and all those creative juices out of you. So make sure that you are using your potential to the fullest. And this is also a good time to bond with your children, spend time with your children, very very important. Good time to seize any opportunities, any new opportunities which are coming up. So Jupiter in the 11th house is going to be helping you out with things like that. Your social circle could actually bring in new opportunities. So while you mingle around over there, Jupiter and Venus, Venus being in the 5th, Jupiter being in the 11th, though they are not friendly, but I think for your social circles, for your opportunities as such, they are benefits. Two benefits are going to help you out a little. So use this month for opportunities. You could feel that there's a lot of popularity. You are getting popular with the opposite gender. So these kind of things could also play up. Those of you who are in any romantic affair, in any relationship as such, I think you need to maintain a good, maintain your relationship properly. Do not get too confused or carried away because of your relationship and do something which you're not supposed to do, or do something unconventional like getting married without telling your parents, or getting involved with someone who is just too unconventional for you, right? So all these things are something which you need to watch out in this coming month of August 2020. So now we move on to the last sign of Pisces, Meen Rashi. So if you look at Pisces, see, if you look at the planetary movements as such, you have the Lagnesh in your 10th house, Jupiter. Retrograde in motion, Ketu is breaking away from this conjunction also. Then in your 4th house, you have Venus and Rahu. Good, I would say. And then of course in your 6th house you have Sun. Sun is going to be joined with Mercury by the middle of the month. So these are the important themes, but one thing which I see in the Pisces chart is the 11th house has Saturn in retrograde motion in its own sign. So while there's a lot of work happening, while there's a lot of activity for you, the fulfillment of desires, or rather your gains, are going to be a little slow. So as time goes on, you will see that, but the gains may not be as fast moving, or as I would say would not give out results as quickly as you expect them to be. But that does not mean that you stop doing your karma, or you do not do your work. You have to keep your motivation up, especially regarding your professional front, and go on with what you're doing. Go on with lot of work around you, which will actually take up your time. This is also a great time to focus on your health, focus on your fitness regime, focus on how your relationship is with your relatives, especially on your mother's side, right? So that is something which you need to be doing. Domestic environment will be good this entire month. You will see that a lot of communication is happening within the domestic environment. You are connecting up with a lot of relatives. You are trying to make a connect with your spouse. So keep the communication flowing properly between you and your spouse. At home also, you try to do a lot of things in terms of revamping the house, in terms of redoing your house. A lot of focus stays inside the house as well. So a lot of focus on home decoration, redoing your home, changing your settings, etc. A lot of attention is what your mother is going to also ask of you. So a good time to spend with your mother at home, that is something which a lot of you might end up doing also, right? Then we also have one more important placement of Mars moving into its own sign. So by the first half of the month we'll have Mars in your ascendant, and thereafter Mars will move on to the second house of Aries, its own house. So a lot of activity within the family, as is already indicated, as I've already talked about. So a lot of relationships, a lot of communication with relatives, because of maybe festivities or whatever is happening around you. So a lot of action over there. But one thing which you have to be a little careful about is your food intake and how you're going to be communicating within your family. So while there's going to be a lot of communication, lot of meeting around with your relatives, visiting them because of festivals, etc., you have to be careful about your food intake, and your digestive health is something which you really need to pay focus on, right? So this is something which I have for Pisces. More so in the videos to come, I'm going to be coming down with the video of Rahu and Ketu transit very soon. So keep keep watching, and do not forget to like and subscribe the videos as you go on watching them. Thank you. Bye bye.